Boris gets a new dog. And the Supreme Archcleric is missing or something this week on the Hapless Heroes.
I feel like it's completely unsanctioned and you're just doing that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco, and I am your host and DM, and I have a fantastic cast of characters I'm going to introduce, starting on my virtual left with Dave as Zero, Valen's Avatar of War.
Good evening.
Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
Don't forget the and captain.
Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Hi there.
Returning for another night is our dear friend, patron, and special guest tonight, Joe, playing Omnius.
I probably should have waited to ask about that.
And John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
I tried so hard to ease their minds.
Speaking of minds being put at ease and then at unease in the span of a few moments, you guys, last time gathered, and Omnius had appeared in Hedrick's spot, and we assume that Hedrick is safe wherever he has been transposed to for this brief time. But he came to you with news that the summit is under attack, and some leaders have gone missing. And then you guys fiddle-farted around and then tried to calm the people of High Rock, because they were just confused as to what was happening, and they all pretty much have a blank spot for the last couple months. And Jarrell gave a passionate, from the heart speech to soothe the nerves of the people, to announce a ceremony to introduce a new archcleric into the fold, Shalandria. And things were going so great until Omnius whispered to Boris that, oh yeah, I probably should mention, the archcleric, the Supreme Archcleric is among those who are missing from the summit. And then Boris just blurted it out for everyone to hear. So we're going to open back up to a crowd that is now, once again, very uneasy as they heard that literally the leader of their faith and of this holy city, the supreme leader of all of it, is missing. And now they are shouting for and demanding answers and are looking at all of you to provide them.
Jarrell face palms so hard his hand goes through his face.
Oh no, Jarrell, make me a death save.
Am I standing close to him? Do I have to do a dex save to get rid of the blood?
There's no avoiding that. It's just because it's you're taking shame damage is what you're taking right now. There's no way to avoid that.
Darn.
So, well, what do you do? The crowd is clamoring for answers now.
Zero leans kind of into the middle of where I'm assuming we're kind of huddled up, awaiting being pelted with tomatoes or something. And,
hey, can someone turn the lights out? We're trying to have a meeting here.
Okay, so, and I understand these are the most famous of last words in our little circle, but I have a plan. So, here's what we need to do. Jarrell, next time you address the crowd, and it should probably be, Zero looks over his shoulder, pretty soon. Here's what we need to lay out. That we are going to install a new archcleric for the city, who is going to oversee things here. And then we are going to go personally see to their supreme archcleric problem. use I don't know, use words like quest or noble cause or something suitably paladin-y when you do it.
And tell them that there are guaranteed results. People like hearing guaranteed results. It also gets you a pay raise sometimes.
Yeah, that's only if you can guarantee results. Then again, if we don't get the results, we'll probably be too dead to care, won't we?
Well, I'll probably die before you anyways. I blow stuff up for a living.
Yes, that's why the Dominion of Kelnor is in fact a desert.
That's not my fault.
No, that was by design.
Okay. Should I get everybody's attention real quick so Jarrell can proceed to give this speech? Because at this current noise level...
Don't worry. I was going to say, don't worry. You still have their undivided attention because they are shouting at all of y'all.
Right.
For answers.
So Jarrell will turn around. He's been in these situations a couple dozen times with this group where there's no real good answer to this situation. But he raises his hands to the crowd. And he says, I apologize to all of you. This is as news to me as it is to you. We will install the new Archcleric of High Rock, and then immediately we will continue upon our quest to secure the safety of the Supreme Archcleric. And I will again try.
This is going to be just a normal persuasion. There's no assistance happening here now.
No, there's actually the lack of assistance, apparently. 27.
A 27 gets people to settle down a bit, but now where they were preparing for a celebration and rejoicing that they were saved, the mood is tense, but calm.
Yeah. Well, we should get to the ceremony, Jarrell says as he turns around and walks back into the citadel.
Omnius will ask Zero as we start following behind you, I assume. Will there still be fireworks?
Well, if we get it very right or very wrong, yes.
Really sucked the spirit out of this plan, you know. Just like all the fun we were about to have has just been really kind of like, oh man, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Oh no, that was what he was saying. It was like, oh, sorry.
No. Well, so how do you prepare for the ceremony? Like, what are you doing now?
So of course, the second Jarrell walks back into the temple grounds, Hans, Franz, and Manservant immediately appear. They take him to prepare himself. He's going to, change into his finest ceremonial garb and bless himself over and over and send for Shalandria and as many of the high-ranking members of the church as possible. If any of the paladins are still paladining, they are in fight because I don't know how many of them actually are followers of Valen at this point.
So you're just grabbing anyone you can find who has some kind of holy symbol on them to be like, hey, you're in the ceremony. Come on. What's your name?
Yeah.
I don't care. Let's go.
Well, again, trying to make it appear as normal as possible given what just happened. And yeah, I guess when everything is at least close enough to ready, they would start the hour-long ceremony of inducting Shalandria in as the new, at least operating, but technically the only Archcleric in High Rock.
Yeah, kinda though. There were more when there were more temples.
Yeah.
However, this is the last one standing.
Right.
For now.
We hope.
Yeah.
So the ceremony begins because I think you're casting the spell ceremony, essentially.
Yeah,
You can
I
hear-
imagine it goes on like if I was casting the ritual of marriage or a ceremony of marriage, it would
Mhm.
look like a regular wedding, kind of the same deal.
So I mean, while the preparations are being made for the ceremony, like you go back to Shalandria, right, to obviously like get her, and you can see that she's like wearing, some more like regal or not regal, like holy, like attire, but it's the fabric is a little too large on her, and when she sees you guys, she like turns to Zero, right, because Zero's the one, Zero and Jarrell. She says, I just can't. How does this look? I can't. It doesn't fit right, but all of the women's robes didn't have pockets.
Go with the pockets. You'll need the pockets.
Jarrell again nods. You look wonderful, Shalandria.
Do I look?
A little confidence boost.
Do I look like a leader?
Jarrell would say yes.
Do
He
leaders
feels
look
like she's been a
anything?
good leader of the church.
She says, I really would just like to get to work. I hope you haven't prepared any kind of ceremony or anything like that. I really don't want any pomp or fanfare.
The fanfare is a must for your people. It will be short.
Who
As
doesn't
short as I
like
can make it.
fanfare?
And are the people okay? How are they doing? I still haven't been down.
They're
They've
not
been
great,
better.
and would someone like to inform Shalandria?
That should probably be me, since I'm the kind of riled them all back
No,
up.
that should probably not be you. Jarrell will put his finger
Fair
on
point,
your
fair
lips and say, Shalandria, we have been notified, as you heard, when Omnius arrived. Did I even get your name?
Yeah,
I would
nobody's
have to
asked
take
me
that
my name
back.
yet.
When this
I don't think
this
so.
fine gentleman arrived, informed us that the summit was under attack. It does appear that the Supreme Archcleric has gone missing. After the ceremony,
her eyes go like wide, and her eyebrows like almost like hit like the top and peak of her forehead, and she just exclaims what the rest of the crowd was just exclaiming earlier. The Archcleric is missing.
again,
Omnius
Jarrell
wants to
has his
step up.
hands.
I was
has his
like,
hands
Omnius
out
wants
and
to
saying,
step up. They're like, wait. I think his toadies kind of just took him off to safety. It might be okay. Nobody knows for sure.
Right. Again, Shalandria, this is not confirmed, and we are immediately going to find out what is going on there.
This gentleman just confirmed it right now. And you want to? And we're. How am I supposed to lead in a time like this? I don't know
Jarrell
what to
is going
do.
to try to again. It's like the 15th persuasion of the day, apparently. We will handle the summit. You focus on working here, and that will be his kind of. You can do it.
You don't even have to make the persuasion check.
Okay, good.
You can
the
do
emphasis of
it.
that, John, was just, you can do it.
You got this, Shalandria. It's totally gonna be fine. You're not inheriting a shit show. Nope. Always great pep talk from the team. But no, in all seriousness, she says, "Well, okay. Well, you must go immediately. There must be no time to waste. You must confirm that he is safe. I don't know how we do this without him. He is, before today, the only person I know who's been able to speak to Valen in months."
We will leave immediately after the people are able to recognize you as their archcleric, officially.
If we must. Make it quick. Again, no pomp or fanfare.
At this point, I feel like we're walking onto the into the church, and there's just immediately like horns and people are
Yeah,
throwing,
just-
like flowers.
yeah. Yeah, there's like confetti being thrown and but the thing is people who are in attendance here still look a little somber because they're still processing the news that the Supreme Archcleric is missing and is potentially under attack while we're swearing in a new acting Archcleric for the city of High Rock and the Church of High Rock, Valen there. Because the last one was apparently doing dark and evil shit. This is a lot of information for people to process.
Right. It's been a busy day for High Rock.
one of the bugle players is kind of crying as he's playing. It's a lot of mixed emotions in the room right now.
We know how he feels too. We've been on the clock since we got off the boat.
It's just a lot happening, and I don't think anyone has had any time to process their emotions.
It's been a long day, and we're the only people who've been conscious for the whole damn thing.
Seriously. So, and then just as Shaladri is walking in, she just looks at all of you. I wouldn't say a scornful look, because you've seen what those look like. But more just disappointment, right? Of course, this was already planned, and she's just okay, we'll get on with it.
And Jarrell would do, whatever, the whole blessing ceremony, whatever reading scripture, all the other stuff that would go along with it.
Yeah, you can hear because it does quiet down as you actually start the ceremony. There are people whispering though. Some of the rest of the party in attendance can hear people whispering I remember Shalandria. She was, handing out. She was always one to try to help the people even if it was never face to face. Oh yeah, she's okay. Hopefully we'll be okay. But she doesn't. I don't know. How this is gonna work. She doesn't talk much, and when she does, she's usually just screaming to throw blasphemers in jail. I don't. I'm nervous. And then
it's 50% of her dialogue.
And then and then the other person's listen, just because you haven't gotten to know her, I've worked with her in the church before. She's kind of a softie if you really get to know her. She just doesn't like people, desecrating her temple like those other people did, last year.
We left them at home.
We did.
Where they proceeded to, not keep track of the Grand Archcleric. We don't have to say it out loud.
But the ceremony happens, and it's done. And, again, the ceremonial trumpet playing and the fanfare and the things that happen when these sorts of events, happen.
The crying bugle player.
And then there's, a casual, holy wine mixer in the adjacent room.
Is it
And they're adding a
alcoholic?
little extra holy to it.
Well,
That's what I'm talking about.
a mixer is in like people are there socializing.
Like a Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
Except,
Don't worry, I've brought the mixers.
Listen, this is not like the fucking Catalina wine mixer, okay? It's not that awesome or posh. This is we're hanging out after church service. You know what I mean?
all right.
Don't worry, I've got my
Does it feel
inscribed
more like a
flask.
wake?
Okay.
The atmosphere kind of almost feels that way because it's okay, cool. We've avoided one disaster and now are already in the midst of another one, and we haven't even begun processing the first one yet. So yeah, I would say that's probably a good general vibe to the people here. They're obviously happy that at least someone is going to be running things around here, but they're also scared because it's kind of been the unknown for a long time now in the world of Tal'Doria, and I think people are just emotionally exhausted.
Okay. Then I would like to ask if Omnius would be able to sneak away during the ceremony outside, because he's not going to do it inside the church, and set up a fireworks show to kind of, because explosions make him happy, so he assumes they make everybody else happy.
I mean,
I feel like it's completely unsanctioned, and you're just doing that.
Yeah, that's kind of his MO.
Unsanctioned and off book is very on brand for us.
okay. Well,
That's why he's on the off-site.
so you're setting up fireworks. Where?
Yes.
Does Boris notice him sneaking away?
Yes. Well, actually, I don't
If
know.
she hasn't gotten off the Hellhound, she's going wherever he goes anyways.
And actually, hold on. Tell me
That is
real quick, Omnius, roll me a stealth check.
Stealth check. All right. 5. 13.
Okay.
you even want me to roll?
Well, what's everyone's passive perception?
23.
Then Boris definitely notices.
Boris goes after him, but stealthily to see what he's doing. She doesn't want him to notice that she's following him.
Go for it. Make me a stealth check, Boris. Wait, I mean, not that it matters, because you can't roll below like a fucking 23 or some shit anyways.
28. Nope, sorry, 2030.
2030?
2030?
Whoa, that's a lot
Wow.
of numbers.
That's quite a
Hot
roll.
damn.
Got that 4-digit
Yeah.
roll going on.
How many bardic inspirations did she get for that one?
All right, 30?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you are quiet as a mouse. But yeah, so Omnius, what are you sneaking out to do?
I'm going to go out to, I'm assuming, if I remember correctly, there was like a courtyard area that was open.
Yes.
And I'm going to, using my crafting ability, as I'm going to create a couple of fireworks, big ones, like the 8-pounders, or like Game of Thrones night flowers, or not. That's not Game of Thrones. That's
Wait, yeah,
Wheel of Time.
that's...
yeah, and like 5 or 6 of them to set off and cheer me and everybody else up.
Can Boris tell what he's doing when she's watching him? Does she know he's building fireworks?
I don't know if you know much about fireworks, but I mean, you know he's building something.
Yeah, like what would I have a knowledge of like the general concept of what like gunpowder or like
No, actually, because that's not really a thing that exists here very much in the parts that you're from. Gunpowder is a
You're up.
very new thing.
Zero glances guiltily at the flintlock pistol near his chest.
That you took from the previous Baron of Riverford, I might add.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Boris actually wanders up while he's making the second firework that he's working on. Pops a bubblegum bubble right behind his head to announce her presence and goes, "What you doing?"
Since Omnius specializes in these explosive devices, he's going to have a very surprised reaction and be flustered. Whoa! You can't do that. These things are very sensitive. Where'd you come
He's probably like holding an explosive in his hands. And he's like, you know, they
pouring gunpowder into something.
right, or like, yeah, like.
Do I sense a dexterity check?
Constitution save for my hello.
No, not just yet. I'm not trying to cause like further crises from happening here unless you guys make it like really force my hand.
I don't think
DM
we want
are
a
you?
10-foot crater just showing up.
Listen, I have sympathy for the people of High Rock that live in my brain. Okay?
Fair enough. You did create them.
Yeah.
So Boris like points at all the parts of what he's doing and is just like, what are you making?
Fireworks. These are one of my favorite things. I actually helped design them. Basically, this powder that I'm putting in here is going to make this thing shoot up into the sky really, really high, and then it's going to blow up, and it's going to have all these pretty colors. And I'm adding some aluminum and some rusted iron oxide, so it'll be pink.
Can I help?
Watch me do this one, and I might let you do the next one. These are fun.
Boris watches very intently.
Okay, so while Omnius and Boris are essentially building IEDs, I would like to see what's happening at the wine mixer. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. While Boris and Omnius are building IEDs in the courtyard of a holy plaza. Okay, we're gonna check in on the rest of the party at the wine mixer.
Again, no concept of religion.
No, I know. I'm just kind of making sure that I introduce the gravitas if your characters aren't. So, Jarrell, Quinn, and Zero, you guys are hanging out with some holy types and some people and some of the common people. This ceremony was public.
Zero is drinking a highly viscous white liquid out of a rocks glass.
Okay.
Like a must.
Where
like
this came. I will also point out that in this room there are no white liquids in decanters.
Yeah, no. Zero supplies his own.
I'm sure you do, bud.
Jarrell would be sitting near Shalandria, lightly drinking some wine.
And I should mention the wine literally just tastes like watered down vinegar.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And his
mine doesn't.
His retainer, right? Because you have the flask, or your own stash, I'm sure. Yeah, I would actually say that either Sven or Manservant would provide Jarrell and Shalandria with nicer wine. And of course, Quinn. If Quinn doesn't have his own, we would have his stash, I'm sure, in the giant chest of ice. It also contains dragon eggs. I forgot about those.
Oh. Well, why don't we just rip that Chekhov's gun right off the shelf real quick?
Well, now.
Did you bring the crate with the dragon eggs with you? Did Manservant literally carry that with him onto the boat, off the airship, onto the boat to High Rock?
It's my chest.
Okay.
And
That's
boy, is it a
wonderful.
chest.
That's wonderful. So you crack it open to, try to supply some additional ice, and you see that the eggs, because I believe that you have one egg in there.
Two. We have both.
Two,
They're
right?
both
Yeah, it
in
was
there.
both. Okay. You can see that they actually are glowing like a bright, like light blue, like a cyan almost.
Light blue.
Cyan almost.
Now,
Glowing.
now, Manservant is the one opening the chest, getting the ice out. He notices that they're glowing and shuts the chest.
Yeah, I would have
after
bet.
getting the wine out.
Oh my god. Where does he do this?
I would say it's kind of off behind. We would probably be towards the main area.
This is a small room.
Yeah, well, sure, but if there's a table or something that we're sitting, I don't know what.
Well, I would say
what
more
the
like a
setup of the room is.
medium-sized room. I'd say it's like a small cafeteria, almost.
Right. I still feel like you would sit the Archcleric of Honor, who just became an Archcleric, off kind of in a special area where she could get greeted and maybe bless some people, because now she can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Sven and Hans are just continuously walking back to Jarrell with more hors d'oeuvres.
Okay. Does Manservant mention what's happening in the chest to you, or no? He can't talk.
Manservant has never said anything ever.
Oh, that's right. He can't. He can't talk.
No, he would not. indicate like he looks puzzled, but I don't think he would even recognize he knows that what they are, but doesn't recognize what might be happening.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he's just gonna casually ignore the glowing eggs that are inside this ice chest that mysteriously just continues to stay cold.
You know,
some
honestly,
whatever enchantment.
Probably because he wouldn't want to interrupt what Jarrell is doing or make a scene. He would show Hans, the squire.
I could just imagine, right? Like just manservant like tapping Hans on the shoulder and just like motioning for him to follow, and then opening it up, and then Hans looking in like the scene in Pulp Fiction, right? Where they're opening the briefcase, right? And it's just like glowing into his face, and then they shut it,
right?
And they just look at each other in silence.
I would say at that point, I think Manservant might pick it up and start leaving with the. I don't know if he would leave with the chest. Maybe not. They're both kind of like trying to decide like what to do.
Beautiful. Nope, I like that.
Chest.
Paralyzed by indecision. That's perfect.
Right.
So again, to add to the growing list of problems.
Why does he speak?
I love it. No, thank you, because that needed to happen at some point, so might as well just add it to the pile.
Why does he speak? He's given us he's given us plot development. Lots of plot development.
Yeah, in fact, you know what?
Quinn would
Take an
prefer less
inspiration.
plot development.
Take an inspiration, Jarrell. I'm handing you an inspiration die through my camera, and you take that. You take that now.
Yeah, take it.
I'm hoping it's adult onset and I can use it next session because this one's way too close to the end.
I'm cool with that. We're more than halfway through,
Never know.
so yes, this can be adult onset inspiration.
Okay, I might need it this episode for another persuasion roll.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
judging by your luck's gonna run out at some point. All right, cool. So that's happening. We're gonna cut back to outside.
Okay, how long has it been? Roughly?
It's been a few minutes, maybe like 15 minutes.
Okay, and you think it would take what, maybe 10 minutes to do one firework?
Yeah, with your skill level.
Shouldn't take that
Yeah.
long.
Well, it probably took Boris about 10 minutes if you let her build her own.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I would let her
I mean,
build.
after watching the first one, Boris literally just like rips off the full instructions, like point for point of everything he did and how much of each product he put in the firework, just to show she was paying like absolute focused attention.
That's all well and good, but we'll let your intelligence score tell us that. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go with history check.
Oh no.
Oh no, is it one you're not magically proficient in? So you can't just jack of all trades your way out of it? Oh, what a pity.
I really can't. Oh, it's a decent roll though. 19.
That's good. Yeah, your improvised explosive device looks pretty good.
Side note, if I was allowed to actually make one after listing everything off, I put like 3 times as much gunpowder in as I saw him put in by choice.
Well, you said it.
Would I have seen that?
I tried to do it super sneakily, thinking I'm gonna make a better firework.
Sleight of hand versus perception. Go.
Perception.
I love these.
25.
A flat 16.
Well, you did not.
Crap.
3 times the amount of gunpowder.
Oh god.
Or whatever the magical equivalent of gunpowder he's using
So,
is.
if I was making 8-pounders, you've now effectively made a 24-pounder.
That's how the guy from the Who went deaf. 10 times the normal amount of TNT in that kick drum. What's the normal amount of TNT in a kick drum? That's always my question whenever I hear that.
The normal amount is 0.
0.
0.
There should be no TNT in your kick drum.
Unless you're the Who. You know, then
Apparently.
that's the point.
Because even one TNT is too many TNT.
It's too many TNT.
Well. So anyways. Yeah, I mean, things are starting to settle down. You know, people are going to probably be making their exit soon, unless anyone else had any other things to be doing at the wine mixer.
So basically, what we would wait until people start actually coming outside. Like it would be a surprise, you know.
How close to the exit of the temple is this?
Depends on how big the yard is.
It's massive. It's like a huge campus with multiple buildings and like a huge square in the center.
Being as Omnius is known for losing lab hands to explosions, he would be in the front half of a quarter.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Not very safety conscious.
Okay. Great. People begin to exit the temple.
Okay. He's going to hand Boris like a poke. And you want the honors of the first one?
Yeah. Boris
Okay.
takes it.
Make sure once it starts sparking, you run away from it.
All right, which one is first?
Whichever one you want.
Boris chooses one of the ones that she did not make,
Okay.
lights it, and runs.
Yep. The firework shoots off and explodes in the air, and then someone from the exiting crowd shouts, "We're under attack!"
Oh god.
And then a panic ensues.
Amazing.
Boris runs back over, runs back up to the fireworks, goes quick like the other one's off so they know it's not an attack.
That's not how that's going.
It's not at all how it works.
Terrible.
Oh god.
That's the opposite of how that works. But go on and do it.
Omnis is torn between helping her light off the rest of them and then trying to calm the crowd. I'm gonna light off the rest of them.
All right. So you have, 2 more that goes, shoot off and explode and do their firework thing, and then, kaboom! As this like ball of fire just like streaks into the sky.
Oh, that was a big one.
And explodes, and all the burning embers begin like raining down. And people are just screaming and panicking.
Does it take out any windows?
Yes, it
Is
does.
the force of the explosion.
It shatters a few windows for sure.
I now believe I know Omnius doesn't know who Hoblet is, but I think I've beat him as a blasphemer now.
Only if you get caught.
He's gonna. Omnius is gonna
and-
be laughing like a maniac at that.
Yeah, and Shalandria runs out and she's like looking around at the panicked crowd, and she just goes, "Apprehend the blasphemers wherever they may be!"
Oh god. Does Omnius know that she's talking about him?
I mean,
Are you a blasphemer?
maybe?
I don't know anything about religion. I'm a man of science.
I would roll an insight on that one.
Roll me a religion check. Roll me a basic religion check.
At least it's based on my intelligence score, so that'll be okay. 12.
Yeah, you know what a blasphemer is. Just fishing for a 1 there.
Yeah. Omnis is gonna stop laughing like a madman and run.
Because, innocent people always run.
Yeah.
Well, he
Well-
also
Boris does not run.
Well-
Boris just watches him and is laughing.
Sometimes they do. There's a lot of innocent people running around right now.
screaming and hopefully not catching on fire from the embers.
That, yeah, that's happening right now. So, checkmate, bud. But anyways, yeah. You can see some of the temple guards starting to shuffle up towards where the source of the explosions happened. Boris, what are you doing to make yourself scarce?
I'm on the ground laughing so hard I can barely breathe. I am not making myself scarce at all.
The temple guards approached you. They're like, Baroness, what? Why are you laughing? We are under attack. You should get yourself to safety.
I don't think we're under attack. I'm pretty sure that firework was just really awesome.
That what?
He called them fireworks. They were supposed to be pink. That one was just fire. It was still really cool.
You mean to say we're not under attack?
No, that was to celebrate. Those were for Shalandria.
Who celebrates with explosions?
I
I just point in the direction of the fleeing.
Yeah,
As he's running
He's
off
like-
in the distance.
He's hauling ass, but there's nowhere to hide because it's a big open plaza. It's just open.
Crazy
do. Have
hair
you ever been
flapping around
chased by
town.
things that you've tried to kill on accident?
Yeah, and all the stuff he's carrying, all the it's rattling and shit, and he's got his mechanical dog clomping around next to him. He's not subtle. he's just trotting off as fast as he can.
This is a flat run, yes.
And then the guards look at each other, and then they start laughing. And then the people up there see the guards start laughing, and the panic starts to settle down a little bit. And then, as word gets passed along of what happened, then everyone starts laughing.
And at the laughter, Omni if he's not too far away to hear it, he would stop and they like it. Wait till I show my next invention.
Oh god, I don't think the world is ready for whatever the fuck that is.
So he would obviously come back. Does he see any of the other the party out and about?
Yeah, everyone is now laughing in the plaza, and it seems that everyone has at least momentarily forgotten about their troubles.
And all the windows we just broke.
Yeah.
No, speaking of that, one of the guards does come up to the two of you, Boris and Omnius, and says, someone's going to have to pay for the property damages. And also, he looks over at the crater in the square where the one firework launched from, and that too.
Oh, just send the bill to Omega Project Building 93, and it'll get taken care of. I think.
Oh, we need assurances, friend. This was fun and all, but you caused a serious amount of damage, and this city's been through enough already. Can we count on the heroes to,
Boris steps up at that point and says, if for any reason they fall through, just send the bill to me.
Thank you, Baroness. And let's maybe not do any unsanctioned explosions in town anymore. Hey? Or else next time, we may have to arrest you for blasphemy. And they all just start laughing.
Normally, I just get beat up pretty good.
Yeah. So let me tell you, those heroes of Telduria, they're definitely an arrestable bunch. They could definitely be brought in by normal CR2 town guards, for sure.
Listen, okay, like I feel like at this point, the laughter is sort of encompassing all of those thoughts.
Well,
But,
I'm just glad that I'm not getting executed.
you know, it's always a good day when you're not getting executed. It's a great bar to like set for yourself. Okay, well, things at least for now seem to be under control in High Rock. Shalandria has quite a big mess to clean up and a lot to figure out, but it seems as though she may be at least capable of holding the fort for the time being. What's our next plan of action?
I would say that my retainers are scurrying back to the boat with the giant chest. In like the background, you see them like running back past us to the boat. And Jarl will say to Quinn, "What is the fastest way for us to get back to the summit? Should we get back on the ship?"
I would say so. With my new fangled powers, we should get
I
there
was gonna say-
lickety split.
It would take you like fucking months to get there, you know, by horse. So, like, that's
so 3 days is not bad.
it's like Oregon Trail or super fast boat travel. That's like literally the fastest in the world because of Quinn's super special powers. Right. Speedboats or Oregon Trail. Mary dying of dysentery or as fast as you can go, which is like 3 days, which considering you're traveling halfway across the known world, that's pretty good.
Does the current ship operated by Quinn move faster than our airship did?
Actually, probably similarly.
Okay.
The thing is, the airship can go over things that a ship
It
can't.
can go like a bird, right.
Right. So maybe where it may lack in raw speed, it makes up for in it just sails over any obstacles. So
More direct.
you can't really, you know, drive that boat up a mountain or something.
So then Jarl would, say his goodbyes to Shalandria and head back to the ship where his, of course, retainers are waiting for him.
Yeah, Shalandria bids you farewell and says, like, please, do everything you can to bring him back safely. These people need their leader, and I don't know if I can do this for long.
Jarl nods and gives her his best assurances.
All right. And obviously people are once again cheering for you and, wishing you well. Like they're like lined up at the docks now. Boris, the dock worker that you had helped when you guys first arrived here, is actually also there waiting at the ship with you. And you can see that he has his family behind him.
Aw.
And he says, I just wanted to thank you. I remember your generosity. I don't remember much about the last 2 months, but you're a national treasure.
Aw, thanks.
We'll see you in Riverford.
I'll see you there.
And his children come and hug you. They're maybe about
Aw.
6 years younger than you.
I give each of the kids a bubblegum cigar.
Ooh, and then like the mother you can hear like saying like, no, hold on, kids. Like I need to check the label. And she like takes the cigars for them and it's like reading them closely and then hands them back to the kids. Okay. Well, I mean, you guys are able to board the ship, the Oberstar. Yeah.
Sven and Hans immediately drag Jarl to the chest to show them what was going on with the eggs.
Okay. So Jarrell, you're looking into the open ice box now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As you're staring in there, you can see a crack forming on one of the eggs.
Jarrell immediately is Pregnant with us.
No.
Okay, so then Jarrell would get first of all Dr. To-Do and Zero to tend to the birthing, hatching of these.
You're jumping ahead here because before you even get a chance to leave the room, like one of the cracks like kind of like almost forms like a tiny little square and it like pops out.
Mhm.
Like a little claw pops it out, and then you can see like an eye, like this like almost like golden with like eye with like a like almost orange sort of pigment kind of coming in from around the outsides, and a reptilian eye staring at you.
If Jarrell sees him hatching, he would just stay there and send his 2 servants to go fetch the doctor and Zero.
The doctor and Zero.
Right.
Technically, not that kind of doctor.
No, he's not even close to that kind of doctor.
Not the other kind of doctor either.
Right.
Omnius, you see the hubbub.
The servants coming running back up.
Yeah. Because you're hanging with Zero.
I wonder what's going on. I asked
they
Zero
do
what's
immediately
going on.
yell
I assume
at
they don't want
Zero.
to talk to me.
No, but they would tell whoever's in the room.
Well, I guess we can talk about birocyphical refabrication later. I'll have to see what they're flailing about.
It's a real brain teaser, I'll tell you what.
All right, so y'all gather in the room, and you can see that Jarrell's like looking at these dragon eggs that you guys have been carrying around for a while, for months, and they are starting to hatch.
I don't know much about Draconis, but I believe this is not good.
We might want to, and yeah, I'm definitely not a biologist or a herpetologist. Is that even right? Are they lizards?
I think they're related.
I don't know, but what I do know is we're in a confined space that is, and Zero glances around at the walls that are ostensibly made of wood. Imminently flammable? Inflammable?
Well, what you know about
We
these
also need
is
a linguist.
these were ice dragons. These were, blue dragons, or I'm sorry, not blue dragons, white dragons that you took these from. So you know that it is inherently not fire that they breathe.
Yeah, Zero isn't thinking that far ahead.
Does the ship galley have a freezer area?
No. They have barrels that they keep gigantic blocks of ice in that, they can hopefully store for as long as possible to last, this journey. But that's it.
Right.
This is not like a magical ship, and it's not run by the Omega Project, which has all the facilities and faculties you need for anything you need. This is just,
No.
This is like what it's like to be on like a, previous century, essentially, or era, like technology ship.
Right. The only reason that we were able to maintain ice for so long was because of Pregnard's ice spells. I
Yeah,
imagine,
and just general enchantments and magic and stuff like that. I mean, you guys have had the full resources of the project at your disposal for a long time.
So Jarrell will turn to Quinn and say, "What are you going to name yours?"
You're going to keep them?
Well, what else would we
Well,
have?
we're
them
certainly not going to give them away. What's the fair market value of a dragon, anyhow?
Well, I know the bodily fluid scales generally go for a pretty good price.
Just
on the black
bodily
market.
fluids.
Precious.
Damn it, John. Get it together. But yeah, they are hatching. And y'all are just like kind of gathered here watching what happens.
Okay, I think we should definitely get this at least on deck. Porter, what's his name?
I mean, the eggs are about the size of your head, Zero.
Jarrell will turn to the group. Can dragons fly at birth?
Oh, do we have any dragonologists here? or anyone who wants to attempt a history check about any books that they've read about dragons.
I will do a history
do.
check.
Yeah, you both do. Then
Okay.
anyone who wants to attempt
There are
one.
dragons.
I'll do a history check as well.
Let's go.
Sure. Ooh, nat 20.
Well, hot damn.
18 plus 8, 26.
Yeah.
25.
All right. Yeah, you guys have all read enough about dragons, plenty about dragons, to know that when they are like babies, they can't necessarily fly. You know, it's like almost like birds have to learn how to fly. But you know, the maturation process has like different stages of growth, and those occur in what's the word? Asymmetrical like cycles, right? So they're not all they all don't take like the same period of time to develop from like baby to young to adult, right, and so on. It's like there's huge gaps of time between some of the older like variants of dragons you may have read about, like ancient dragons, because like these things can live like, I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Like centuries and centuries. They are some of the can be some of the oldest creatures that ever live on a planet. But when they're babies, they go from like little lizard sized to unmanageable as a pet in a matter of like weeks.
Not
Exciting.
something that you want to keep around, especially.
Yeah.
Well, we can train them on the way to the summit.
Yeah, when you say unmanageable.
Like larger than you.
Yeah, but you can manage.
That's what
something
saddles are
larger
for.
I
than
know
you.
dogs that are larger than me. Come on.
People manage elephants all the time.
Do your
Right.
dogs breathe dangerous things and that could kill you?
Mine do.
Have you
I have to say,
I've
I've smelled,
smelled
I've,
my
I've
cat's
smelled
breath.
dog
Come
breath.
on.
It might as well be come out of a dragon's mouth.
Right.
Have you ever tried to tame a lizard, especially one that has
Yes.
a proclivity for evil things, as a
Yes.
as a chromatic dragon?
I have had a pet anaconda.
I'm about to say, I'll ask Matt and his wife. They have a bunch of lizards. They'd know.
So this is
We're
like
pretty confident, is what we're telling you, Fran.
as much as I'd love to see How to Train Your Dragon Hapless Heroes edition. I think that you guys this might be a problem before it is a cool thing.
It just seems cool to me.
To say, almost everything we do is a problem because we think it's a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also fair.
Now, what do they look like?
Well, right now they're still kind of slowly trying to break through the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that the scales are completely white, like because again, these are white dragons, like they are like blindingly white, maybe like even like shades of like very like almost like a pearlescent shimmer of blue on the scales, but it's mostly white. And as they begin to emerge, right, and like stretch their limbs out, right, and like all that goop and stuff is not necessarily goop. It almost looks like it's like almost like stretchy ice. Like you can see almost like as it stretches far enough, it crystallizes and then breaks as there's enough tension as these things are pulling out of their shells. And they like survey the room and they look at Hans and crawl up to him.
Well, I think they think he's their mother now.
And they are like, he's like looking at them. He's like kind of terrified, I'm assuming, because he's like, like a 17-year-old kid at this point, like is your squire.
Right.
And these dragons are like, like eyeing him up and down and like sniffing him and crawling up and over him. And, he reaches out like a hand, maybe to touch one. And then it just like kind of begins to like, open its mouth to make a sound. And then you just see this burst of like, like frigid air fly out of its mouth. And it like freezes like like a section of the adjacent wall. And
Cool.
Hans just looks at you like terrified as he's like, essentially holding on to two dragons that are like nuzzling him now.
Jarrell pats him on the back and says, "I guess they're yours now."
He's like, he looks like he's literally about to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
Well, at least I don't have to pay a dragon sitter.
I don't think they would listen to you anyways. I can't.
You literally just looked at Hans and it's like, that's your problem now, bud. That's pretty much what you just did to your squire, just so you know. I just hope you know that. You literally just like, yeah, that's not my problem anymore. Cool, congratulations, have fun.
This sounds like this.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know that Jarrell would necessarily mean it one way or the other. Like, it is like a weight off of him personally.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. I'm just telling you pretty much exactly what you've done here.
At the same time, it's pretty awesome that you have two dragons now. Like, Jarrell's also like partly proud of him for having two.
This dude barely knows how to swing a sword.
And he knows how to swing a sword at this point. He just doesn't.
Barely knows how to swing a sword. He's your squire. He knows.
He's been training with me for 2 years.
He knows how to dress you.
Train your dragon.
Yeah, he knows how to dress you in your armor really well.
Yeah, unless Jarrell is a complete failure of a paladin, I'm sure he's been training his squire at some point in the off-camera hours.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually had bits of training in the show before.
Yeah. Well, speaking of other problems, Omnius, you and all of your equipment start to, like, you can sort of see almost this aura, this like blue aura surrounding your body, and like things like sort of fizzling and like cracking, like with magic.
I recognize it, I hope.
This is similar to the, de and re-atomizing process of the teleporter.
Okay.
It seems like kickback.
Okay. Do I have...
This can be dangerous.
Be dangerous.
You think?
And you are on a boat.
Zero, take this, and I'm gonna toss him my most precious invention that I've come up with so far.
A grenade? You just throw him a live grenade?
No, that's not the most precious invention.
Oh, okay, good.
It was.
You're not fluffy.
I've seen the revolver that Zero, or not the revolver, the flintlock that Zero has on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
I've improved that, so I'm tossing him that because part of the reason I was volunteered to come give the news anyways, having worked on Zero, knowing what he's capable of, I wanted him to test something for me because I don't get out in the field very often, and that was kind of my whole point of coming. I just hadn't got to it yet, so I'm going to toss this thing to him. I'm assuming I don't get enough time to tell him exactly how it works.
No, I kind of like this. Like, I only have a limited time to explain. So this is where the safety is. This is where the thing is. This is really important that you pay attention.
Yeah.
So, in a real quick rush manner, here, take this. It's better than the piece of crap you got on your chest, and you never have to put ammo in it.
The field around you is buzzing, like brighter, but you're still like here. It's just like, you're below decks on a wooden ship.
And I'm gonna run away before I blow up.
Yes, go do the standard science thing.
Go do the standard science thing. Omnius,
run away before you blow up.
Yeah, Omnius, how do you make this like sort of exit or escape, or like what do you do to like prevent any damage from happening to the ship?
Okay. I immediately cast haste on myself.
Uh-huh.
And then I will run and jump over the side of the ship. I will leave the Is the Hellhound being infected too?
Yes, both of you, because like you transported together, so it's taking you back together.
And we will both jump over the side of the ship. I fully expect that I'm about to either be teleported back or explode. So, we're both going to jump over the side of the ship and try and get as far away.
Perfect. While you are in midair, like over the water, as the ship is sort of pushing off from port, right? You guys are like, just kind of coming out of the docks now. Before you even hit the surface of the water, there's this pop again as you disappear, and then Hedrick reappears back into place right where you were diving into the water and just splashes into the sea.
Is it a belly flop?
Yes.
Man-child overboard!
And that's what we're going to call this episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Phil's going to have a great time coming back to that. Thank you all for listening. If you like us, that's right, I'm talking to you out there, dear listener, can find us on the internet. We're on such places as Twitter and Instagram at Hapless Heroes. You can also search Facebook and Reddit for Hapless Heroes Podcast. Those places really will just point you to what we consider the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server, where you can meet and interact with all of us lovely people on a daily basis, talk about the show or whatever else you want, or share pictures of your cats and dogs, or talk about why you think that pineapple belongs on pizza and why we think you're wrong.
Not all of us.
Most of us.
It's destined.
Anyways, those are the kinds of discussions, very kind and civil and reasonable discussions that we have on our Discord server. Definitely join us. It's a great time. But if you really like us, we'd love it if you left us a review on the podcast service of your choice. Doesn't matter which one it is, and hell, if reviews aren't your thing, even just drop us a line at haplessheroes@gmail.com. Tell us what you think. Those words, those kind words, really, make just like it's what fuels us. It's what drives this creativity that you all crave to hear somehow for some reason every single week, and haven't stopped doing this for the last 4 years. And we'll say some nice words right back to you on this very program to show our love for you 5-star human that you are. And if you really, really like us, you could donate to our Patreon. It's just patreon.com/haplessheroes. We have a slew of awesome rewards. Everything from like bloopers, behind the scenes audio, shiny Discord roles, James's notebook from the first 100 episodes, submitting story arcs to the show, or even as we've evidenced here, our dear friend Omnius and longtime donor and supporter of this show, be on the show as a special guest. And we're going to Harmon Quest the shit out of this, except we didn't have to kill your character.
Yes.
So, it's just, we try to think of any way we possibly can to give back to you for supporting this show. I mean, you've helped us pay our hosting costs, like buy new microphones, save the show literally when my laptop was getting too overworked to even run it anymore with the amount of tracks we had to record and all the other effects and stuff I was putting on the show. Literally had to buy a brand new laptop just to record this. And it's just, you've helped us recoup a lot of that, because I would have done this for free. You know what I mean? We still do it from the love in our hearts, but we appreciate each and every one of you for supporting the show for as long as you have. It means the absolute world to us.
I do it specifically for the pizza party we get once a year.
We will have a pizza party. I promise.
Someday we will reunite in person, and it will happen.
Can we at least get one with pineapple on it for Boris?
No, because it's not pizza.
Pineapple and dairy-free cheese. Woo! Pizza!
You-
Can you hear the air quote?
Well, air quote pizza. Yeah.
If there's pineapple on it, you're paying for it yourself. I am not subjecting our patrons to a pineapple they did not purchase. Anyways.
But free gifts are always the best.
All right, folks, check this out. listen, if you like us, and I mean not just like, kind of like us, like, oh my gosh, they like us or something like that, but I mean like really like us, like Sally Field and or Sally Fields. Listen, pluralize it if you want. I don't care. Just make sure that the whole deal is attached, right? So you got all that, right? So here's the little request: is write the great American novel. I mean, not just like a great American novel, like the mythical great American novel that everyone's been chasing for years. Don't think about how everyone else has been failing at it for years. Just, go out and fucking do it, right? Because it's like, it's like Looney Tunes, where, if Wile E. Coyote doesn't know he can't do it, he just keeps running past the edge of the cliff. Do that, but in literary form. Write the great American novel. And then in the liner notes, say something about listening to the Hapless Heroes podcast.
That's it. Just,
doable. Totally doable.
Totally doable. You just need to be a bang writer, really.
Yes.
Kindergartner could do it.
Yeah, get out there, audience, and do
a
it.
Kindergartner can do it. A kindergartner won't do it, but a kindergartner can do it.
Never say won't. There is always a probable chance. However, probable that actually may be. It's not impossible. Anyways, I'm going to outro this cast. Bye. This is... No, before this gets out of hand, though, really, I'm going to outro this cast. So I'm going to start on my virtual middle this time with Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Bye.
To her right, Joe as our special guest, our wonderful friend, our super awesome donor, as Omnius.
It's been an honor, a pleasure, and I did not blow up.
This time.
Yeah.
John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Until next time.
Dave as Zero Valence Avatar of War.
If you didn't blow up, the project only records it as a partial success.
And Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
How are we ever invited back to High Rock?
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM and High Rock tour guide. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.